Most of us think that spiritual understanding is intellectual. I know, I read, I heard. We hear somebody speak with authenticity, with enough of scholarship. So I heard that man speaking. Oh, good. I read that standard book. Good. So it is all intellectual understanding. But that is not the reality. That is not the truth. Simple example. Swami said, what is your name to a boy who did his PhD? Now we're working in Jabalpur or somewhere. When Swami said, what's your name? That boy said, Atma. He wanted to be very smart. Atma. Then Baba, very good. Then you go and give darshan to everybody. The answer given by the boy is correct. Atma, consciousness, correct. But he doesn't know the depth of it or the experience of it. Then Swami asked somebody else, who are you? Sivoham, Sivoham, I am Siva. Sivoham? Yes, I am Siva. Then what is the relationship that you have with Parvati? Parvati, Amma, I don't know. If you are really Siva, Parvati must be your consort. You cannot say, Amma, what a sin it is, I have got nothing to do with the Divine Mother. So we say, we understand that is all psychological, that is all mental, that is all intellectual. In other words, intellectual understanding is not enough. Just you understand. And also there are some people that say, we have some techniques to understand, some methods to adopt, techniques to follow. Swami, in one of his poems, he said, what he said was, there is a book on home science, few chapters on how to make curry, how to make chutney, how to make sambar, how to make rasam, different preparations. Is it enough? That book has given all the details. If you keep open the book and make it, it will be horrible and terrible. Mere instructions, menu card or recipe won't make any pudding or any preparation or any item for that matter. Therefore, theory or a doctrine or a technique or a method will never take us to the ultimate. Technique will not take you to the ultimate. Method is not applicable. Theory, theoretical. Therefore, my friends, with all said and done, the bottom line is intellectual understanding is not enough in the field of spirituality. I understand Shankara Advaita, but my life is Dvaita, dual. Leading a dual life with understanding of non-duality is useless. Therefore, we should go a step further. What is it? Usually, we want to know why. Why? Some people ask, why God created this universe? I would tell them, ask God, I have not created, He has created. You please meet Him if you come across and put that question. We want to know why. Actually speaking, the question why is not applicable, is irrelevant. What we need to know is how. So in spirituality, the question how is more important than why. If we go on thinking of why, it is endless. You land nowhere. Simple example. I want to know about the truth. Why truth? What is the use of truth? I can give lecture on truth, but I may be untruthful. It is not enough to speak on truth. It is essential to attain truth, not merely know truth. So instead of knowing what is truth, instead of knowing why truth, better we know how to attain truth. I am not speaking of truth in the ordinary sense. Truth, the ultimate reality. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Truth is God, God is truth. That sense I am speaking. So at the divine level, truth is God. So instead of knowing, instead of asking why truth, let me know how to attain truth, which is more and more important. The next step is we apply our mind or head to understand this, or to understand certain principles of the world, certain natural laws, sciences, yes. With my mind and head, I can grasp all material sciences. The secular education can be acquired applying my mind or head. But in spirituality, it is useless. Why? You want me to be headless? You want me to be mindless? Not that, my friend. Please understand what the head is. Why? The head will not accept whatever it receives. Supposing I say this is correct, your head will say, I don't think so. Supposing it's very hot today, your head will say, yesterday it was hotter. Supposing I say, well, I think situation is not good. Your head will say, it was much worse before. In other words, mind or head refuses to accept, contradict, negate, deny. So this negation, this denial, this contradiction is in the very nature of the mind. If I say he's a good man, I don't think so. Well, he's a very bad fellow, but I know he is equally good. Well, you don't want to agree. So disagreement, negativity is the nature of the mind. Therefore, this mind which is negative, which is disagreeable to everything, which goes on questioning, is unfit in the field of spirituality. So the best instrument that could be put to use in the area of spirituality is the heart, but not the head. Therefore people say, I love you wholeheartedly. Nobody will say, I love you wholeheadedly or whole-mindedly. Is a deadly expression. No, whole heart. So there's an ocean of difference between the heart and the mind. The heart is feeling. The heart never contradicts. The heart never denies. It accepts. It has got feelings. It has got values. Therefore, the best instrument is the heart and not the head. Their point is this. We think that spirituality meaning, let me sit straight, close my eyes. That may help the members of the family because you don't shout at anybody. You sit straight because you'll never have hunch later. That has got nothing to do with it. A part of the body cannot be a tool for spirituality. A part. Supposing I do some physical exercise, yogasanas. It is spirituality. I am sorry, it is not. Spirituality demands totality. Totality, body, mind and intellect. Not merely body. If it is merely body, it is physical exercise. If it is merely just mind, it is a kind of egoistic process. If it is only intellect, it is indecisive. So indecisive intellect, a wavering mind, and a body which is unstable cannot be put to use in a divided way. All the comprehensive, composite, total is required in spirituality. Your totality, your exactness, your completeness are necessary in the spiritual field. The next point. Usually, whatever you say anybody, whatever you share with anybody, they'll say, I know. Somebody said, sir, Vibhuti start coming from Swami's picture. You're saying you're a lucky man, good, Swami has blessed you. We don't say that. I know it happening at many places. He knows that, but still he wants to share his happiness with you. We are not ready. We are, I know, sir. He is not telling you as if you do not know. He wants you to know what he knows. Not that you do not know. It is a question of complex that really we don't need any jokes or any sense of humor. If we study our own life, it is enough of humor, enough of a joke. Therefore, my friends, we want to know and we say we know two things. We want to know always. Say something I want to know. He says something I want to know. Endless knowing. Or I know, meaningless knowledge. All that is known is knowledge. All that is unknown is ignorance. Knowing is the current process. Endless process. Then we have to question, why should I know? Why? Knowledge is necessary. But in the field of spirituality, in the spiritual sense, knowing is doing. Knowing is doing. To know is to do. To know is to do. Not to know for knowing sake. Not to know for knowledge. Not to know for accumulation of information. Not to know the facts and figures. To know is to do. Knowing is doing in the spiritual sense of the term. What do I mean by this here, my friends? As I started this morning, two aspects here. One is intellectual aspect. The second is existential aspect. The intellectual aspect goes on discussing, goes on thinking, goes on dissecting, goes on disseminating, goes on fragmenting, segmenting. Existential approach is unification. Existential approach is unification. Intellectual approach is division. So we follow intellectual approach which is not required in the field of spirituality. Division. Existential approach, oneness, uniformity, harmony is the reality, is the spirituality. God is one. We cannot say 1/4 of God is in India, 1/4 in Pakistan. You cannot divide him. You cannot divide. Oneness is divinity. Unity is divinity. That is existential reality. So existential reality is unity, is harmony or oneness. It is simple example. Here is a blind fellow. I give him a lecture on the light, what light is. Being student of physics, we have learned some physics, principles of physics on light. Explain him. He says, I understood. That is intellectual. Instead, I take him to hospital, transplant the eye, make him see, grant him the blessing of vision to see. That is existential. To restore vision, to be able to see is existential. Merely to learn, to understand, to imagine, hypothetical, theoretical is intellectual. Therefore, spirituality is more an existential experience, but not an intellectual expression. Then, I would also like to tell you another point. We have so many questions. We come across people with a lot of questions. If you say A and B, A and B, A is good. The question is, why not B? If I say B is good, why not A? Questioning. Why do you say? This kind of questioning leads to answering. I give some answer. Well, there are some people who question you, but they don't care for your answer. Why? Thinking of next question. And they put a question, you have to wait for the answer. You may not agree. Answer may not be acceptable to you. Answer may not be agreeable to you. It may not be appropriate to the question. Okay, but listen to me, because you have put a question. I listen to your question. It is your duty to listen to my answer. You are not prepared to listen to the answer. Why? Preparing for the next question. Meaning what? A questioning mind remains a question mark forever and ever. Forever and ever. Go on questioning. Go on reasoning. Therefore, in spirituality what happens is, it will not make you only to listen to the answer. It will make you know how to attain the answer. How to attain the answer. Not simply answer to the question. When once you attain the answer, you will not question anymore. When you get the answer on the face value of the question, another question follows. When you answer, next question follows immediately. But if you attain the answer, there will be no more of questions. So existential spirituality in experience will help us to attain to the answer, rather simply answer the question. Then I would also tell you another point. We hear so many things. There are people who speak on yoga, There are people who speak on pranayama. There are some people that speak on Sudarshana chakra. There are some people that speak on Kundalini yoga. There are so many. It's a big market, spiritual market. A spiritual mall. Spiritual mall. You can have anything. But the point is this. Whatever you get in this spiritual mall, you may receive it. You may get it. But that's not be all and all. It's not be all and end all. Why? Spirituality requires transformation, a total change. When there's no total change, when there's no total transformation, it is only merely recording whatever that is said, verbal quotation, using words. That is not spirituality at all. Spirituality is not verbal exercise. It is not an expression by word unlimited. But truly speaking, it ends up in total change or transformation. I listened to Ramayana, very good. But Rama stood for truth. But when I opened my mouth, better it not be said. Rama lived for dharma. The kind of life I live is just printed on the title sheet of the newspaper. Adharmic, unrighteous. So you have listened well. My ears are quite good enough. No ENT problem. But no change, no transformation. Therefore, spirituality expects transformation. That is very evident by experience. Transformation is very evident by experience. Supposing I say, I'm a transformed man. It is not a political declaration. Politicians say, I have changed. In due course, we will know that he never changed. Or you will understand he has gone much worse than before. Therefore, this transformation is evident by experience, not by mere declaration. No. Not by mere understanding or comprehension. The experience is the proof. Transformation is the result. That's what spirituality is. Okay. Well, I may be speaking of existential awareness. I'm not talking about intellectual understanding. I don't have to say anything about intellectual understanding because we're all educated people. We have got degrees, bachelors, masters, doctors. Degrees, we have degrees. We are educated in reputed institutions. We are professionals in our own humble way. So there is nothing to question about our intellectual understanding. It is unquestionable. Our success is the proof of our intellectual understanding. Correct. But spiritually, it is not so. Because it is existential awareness. How to draw the difference between existential awareness and intellectual understanding? Intellectual understanding by the process of learning. Books, videos, radios, e-books. After these e-books, people stopped purchasing books. And they don't have time to read e-books also. Go on, the finger reads, not the eye. It's all right, we can't help it. There's no point in feeling sorry about it. That's the age, you know. So the point is, intellectual abilities, intellectual understanding, intellectual heights, no doubt, all of us are 100% successful. All of us. But existential awareness, each one has to judge for one's own self. Each one has to be aware of his awareness. I cannot judge you, you cannot judge me. Intellectual, yes, I can judge. Come on, I'm MSc Botany, you are Masters in Botany, come on, you put any question, I'll put you questions. Awareness, you cannot put questions. Because it is beyond questioning. Beyond questioning. Now, let us understand what is existential awareness. The first point is, let us go in this opposite direction. Existential awareness is not merely thinking. Not thinking, the first point. Because, well, I think, it's not existential. Correct. You go on thinking, please leave me alone. You better lock yourself and go on thinking until you will land up in psychiatry. So, existential awareness has got nothing to do with thinking. Next, existential experience is way how goes on living through and through. His life, through and through, through and through. It is one of continuity with our life. It runs in close proximity with our life. So one has to be in existential reality, through and through, continuously. Not a glimpse, not momentary, not like a flash, not like a lightning. It is one of living through and through. And existential reality, existential experience will make us ready, allow ourselves to be transformed. I allow myself to be transformed, but intellectual thinking will never allow you to be transformed. Why? Why should I be transformed? I know. I can transform you. As much a fool I am, if not a better. So, intellectual understanding will not allow you to get transformed. But existential awareness will keep us ready, allow the transformation to happen. In other words, we should be ready, vulnerable for a change, for transformation at any point of time. Now, my friends, as against this existential reality, the philosophical approach is intellectual. Philosophical approach is intellectual. Why? No two philosophies agree. Advaita, duality says there are two, you and God. Good. Advaita says, no, only God is. Visishta Advaita, qualified non-duality says three, you, creation and God. If I go to somebody else, four. No two philosophies agree. That's why in English people say, this is my philosophy. It means your philosophy need not be my philosophy. My philosophy need not be your philosophy. Because philosophy, as Baba says, full loss is philosophy. Lord Baba, philosophy, full loss. Because it's only intellectual understanding, intellectual gimmicks. Therefore, supposing you are convinced with my philosophy, I go on telling Baba is God, Baba is God, Baba. Then what will happen? If you are convinced, I am successful in converting you. I am successful in converting you. If I am not able to explain my philosophy, if you are not satisfied with my philosophy, you go to some other philosophy, you go to some other philosopher, you go on searching. So dissatisfaction leads to search, continuous. Some people go on. Sir, I had been to one guru who said creator, creation and the created three are there. Very good, Ra. You like it? Very good. But last year I went to somebody who said only creator, sir. Then how do you tell about creation? You please ask him. You hear him and ask me question. How can I answer? Therefore, this kind of searching, go on searching, because the philosophy has not satisfied you. When the philosophy satisfies you, you are a successful convert. Most of the people you say, they don't leave you until you accept Christ is the only Savior. Some people don't leave you until you say Krishna consciousness, only Krishna, nobody else, Even Shiva has to wear the dress of Krishna. What do you mean, Krishna consciousness? If you ask Shiva people, Shivam, that's all. Nothing else. So what will happen? You go on searching. Krishna, Shiva, Vishnu, Padmanabha, Ananta Padmanabha, infinite Padmanabha. Searching continues. If you believe, if you rely, if you depend, if you are based on philosophy, totally dissatisfied. You are satisfied, you are stuck there. There are some people say Baba is God. Okay. Would you like to hear something about Christ? No, tell me about. Why not? Why can't you hear about Christ? Why not? Why can't you give patient listening to Guru Nanak? Prophet Muhammad? Why not? So, by being a convert, if you want to say, you become fanatic. You become dogmatic. Finally, idiotic. And make me lunatic. Therefore, my friends, this is not the style. So, satisfaction makes you a convert. Dissatisfaction will make you search eternally, endlessly, and nowhere. A rolling ball gathers no mass. So people go on changing their gurus, they go on changing their scriptures, end nowhere. That is where philosophy takes you. But person remains the same. I saw you in that ashram yesterday. Yes, sir. Today I am seeing in this ashram. Yes, you are correct. Tomorrow I may find you somewhere else. Yes. But you are like that. Same as much a buffoon as before. As much of a buffoon or as much of a crook as before. You have not changed. You are something like this. I may change my clothes, wear some suit or wear some shirt. I may go on changing my clothes, but I don't change. But existential awareness, the spiritual existential awareness demands change or transformation, but not intellectual understanding. Well, how do we get all this? How is it to be more practical? Take, for example, Swami. As he talks to you, in the interviews, where limited group is there, you will experience his love. Not that we don't experience love on a platform. There is. But in a small gathering, you are closer and closer, and it is perceptible. In general, it is more or less a general feeling. In Swami's talks, you feel how he loves you more than the information he passes on to you. Agreed? How do I say that? Am I dogmatic? Am I fanatic? No, sir. There are many people who do not know English. There are many people who do not know Telugu, but they listen to his talk. Why? You have not followed single word what he said. But your face bright, 1,000 candle bulb. French speaking people, Latin speaking people, Japanese people don't follow what Swami says. But their face will show that they followed something you do not know. Their face will show that they followed something you do not know. But face is the index of the mind. Face is full of smiles. Whether you understand, or in fact those that understand will have oily faces. Because they want to understand, they don't want to see him. They have been understanding from birth to death. All right, go on understanding. It's not that. Those that have not followed him, yet they feel his love. They feel his love. They are touched by his love. They are sensitized by his love. They receive the vibration of love, Baba's love. They are touched. And how about the devotees? Devotee is not a small fellow. We cannot underestimate a devotee. They spend so much of money to come here. That too, these days, travel is very expensive. Having come here, you are not sure of accommodation, but you are sure of the food that will not suit you. The food that you eat does not suit you, I am sure. Even a local man cannot appreciate it. And you are not sure of a comfortable seat. People go on pushing you here and there like a football. But still we come. Why? Why do you spend so much of money? Why do we come here? Love of a devotee for Bhagavan. The love of a devotee for Bhagavan is infinite, of fathomless depth. And love of Bhagavan for a devotee is equally infinite. The love of a devotee and the love of Baba is equal, like parallel lines. Therefore, Purnachandra Hall is full, Kulwanta Hall is full, wherever Baba is, it is all full. Full is Baba, Baba is full. If we don't understand, we are fools. Therefore, my friends, the touch of love, the vibe of love is of equal wavelength, is equal frequency between the master and the disciple. Between the master and the disciple, love is of the same frequency. Baba goes to the extent of saying, I and you are one. At one time he says, you are mine, I am yours. He will never say, meet me at 4 o'clock in the evening when I am free. He will never give you appointment, I will talk to you on 20th at 10 o'clock in the morning. No appointments, no time schedules. Why? I am yours, you are mine. I and you are one. See that, sir? But unfortunately, our people are happy by quoting these statements without knowing the profundity of these statements. Unless we know the profundity of the statement, you cannot appreciate the depth of the statement. You cannot appreciate the music of the statement, the melody of the statement, the nectarine sweetness of the statement, unless you reflect upon it, unless you ponder over it, unless you think repeatedly, apply to our individual selves, we cannot reach that level. Therefore, my friends, love between the disciple and the master should match with equal excellence. If the master feels, I have more love for you than your love towards me, Meaning master is measuring, estimating love as luggage at the airport. Luggage is 20 kgs, 25 kgs. How much of love? 25 kgs. Okay, some airlines allow only 20 kgs. So you should have only 20 kgs of love, not more than that. So if master thinks that his love is more, estimation. If the disciple thinks his love is more, he need not come to the master. No, they're equal. They're equal in their heights, in their peaks, in their altitudes, in their platitudes, in their dimension. In their heights of excellence, both are equal. That's what it is. This is essential in spiritual existential awareness. In spiritual existential awareness about what we have been deliberating for the last half an hour or so, it is very clear. Esoteric methods, E-S-O-T-E-R-I-C, esoteric methods. Esoteric methods meaning religious methods. Esoteric methods, religious methods require equal frequency. That's what it is. Then, what level should we be? Somebody told me about 25 years ago, who has no idea of Baba. He just want to put a question. Does Baba speak anything new? Does Baba speak anything new? Was his question. I told him, is there anything new about you? You are same as old as I know you. So when you continue to be as old as I know you, he speaks as much old as it is new. It is equally new and old. Somebody asked Baba, Swami, why do you say Prema Mudita Manasa Kaho every time? Why same song? Why? Huh? Bhajan Bina, Sukha Shanti, why? There are thousands of bhajan songs. Can't you pick up few and sing for us? Why same songs? Baba said this. Prema mudita manasa kaho, love. And then bhajan bina sukha shanti. Bhajan. I say repeatedly, you have not learned till now. Since you have not learned till now, I have to repeat it. I have to say again and again and again until you know. You need to take medicine until you are cured. You say, why? All right. Things become much worse. Therefore, my friends, as Master tells us, what is my job? What is your job? Something like sand near the seashore, sand near the river bed, some water, the sand absorbs immediately. Sand will not say where from the water has come. What is the formula of water? Who brought the water? How much should I take? Sand will not question the man who waters, the quality of the water, or formula, or chemical formula H2O, nothing. It simply absorbs. Therefore, existential reality requires absorption like blotting paper. Absorb every word of the Master, every statement of the Master, every gesture of the Master, every posture of the Master, every smile of the Master, every look of the Master, because they convey a message. Swami's smile has a message. Swami waving the hand has a message. Swami looks equally has a message. Therefore, the disciple or devotee has got to be very alert, very receptive to receive from the master. Here, no arguments, please. No logic. No reason. That's why he said, no reason for love. No season for love. So, your reason, your season will not apply. You cannot say, in winter, I am more spiritual. Oh. In summer, non-spiritual. No season. You cannot say, I am more spiritual now because all my children have settled. I say. Is that the reason? Somebody asked me, Anil Kumar, have you settled here? Have you settled in Prashantri? I just looked at him. What's the... He said, sir, do you hear my question? What is your question? Have you settled here? I told him, I belong to a place by name Guntur in Andhra Pradesh, where I was born, where I was brought up. I settled there. Later, Baba brought me to Bangalore. Now, what is the place of my settlement? Bangalore. When I almost settled, he brought me to Puttaparthi. Well, where have you settled? Puttaparthi. Where do you settle? Wherever you stay, that is the place of settlement. Again, I settled there and you are here. The word settlement has lost its meaning. There is nothing like settle. You see, a wall settles there because it cannot move. Am I a wall to settle like that? Electric poles settle there. Am I an electric pole? I don't think that you will face me again with this question. Have you settled here? How many people wanted to settle, could not settle? Those who have settled have unsettled in course of time. There is no question like this. Therefore, we should absorb the statements. How do you absorb his statements? How do you absorb any spiritual teaching? How do you absorb any spiritual master? If you have love for him, if you have spirit of surrender. Two things are necessary, love and surrender. Oh, what is the difference? You listen to your mother because you don't question her love towards you. You surrender when you know that other man will take care of you. So when I surrender to the master, I know that he will take care of me. When I love him, I know that he loves me too. So love and surrender are the two of the things which are absolutely necessary to listen to absorb Divine Master's voice unconditionally, beyond reason, beyond season, beyond argument, beyond logic, beyond thinking. That's what existential reality is. Then what about intellectual awareness? Some people say, Anil Kumar, when you come to some place like Los Angeles or Mexico, we'll arrange a meeting for intellectuals. Immediately I tell them, please invite some intellectual. Why? I'm not intellectual. Why do you invite a non-intellectual to address intellectuals? Why do you say you're a non-intellectual? I know only how to feel. I know how to feel, not simply speak. No. Therefore, how about this? Intellectuality. Intellectuality has only the language of logic. Logic. Can you prove this? What is the evidence for it? Keep quiet. You have no place here. So intellectuality is based on logic. It is aggressive. Those who are intellectuals, they are never soft and smooth. Ready to fight. Because he has got that intellectual arrogance. The pride of intellect makes him intellectually arrogant. As he goes by head, he becomes headstrong, dull-headed or pig-headed. Therefore, an intellectual is aggressive. Suppose he tells you the whole world is real. I say, no, it's not real. It is Maya, myth. Why? Or it's myth. That aggressive intellectual won't leave you until you say you are correct, please leave me. So, intellectuals are highly aggressive, totally argumentative, sometimes even violent. Sometimes even violent. If you don't agree with them, they're ready to give you some blows also. Shout at you, scream, violent expression. They don't leave you until you say at least convinced or appear to be converted. Or they don't leave you. That has been experience of many of us. Yes. Why that happens? Why that happens? Why? The reason is intellectuals are egocentric. Intellectuals are egocentric. The more intellectual you are, more egoistic you are. Sir, I have no ego. Then you are an ordinary fellow, not an intellectual. You cannot attend the meeting of intellectuals. No admission card, no pass. Only intellectuals are admitted, meaning only egoists are permitted. Therefore, egocentric. And those people have got only one approach. I am right, you are wrong. I am right, you are wrong. The two, I am always right. You are continuously wrong. That's what the approach of an intellectual is. But a man of existential awareness, that is intellectual understanding. But existential awareness, how does he approach you? He is not violent. He is not aggressive. No, he is not argumentative. He follows the language of love. Language of logic is that of intellectual. Language of love is the language of a devotee or the language of an existential awareness. The language of love. What is the language of love? The language of love is concerned with you. Not with my arguments, not with my information, not with my quotations, not with my computerized mind. My mind is not a memory stick. Take a stick and beat him, that fellow. It is not recapitulation, it is not memory, it is not information, it is not statistical. Existence awareness is concerned with you, Y-O-U, not information. And you meaning not your ego. Not your ego. That's why people say, I love you with all my heart. Nobody will say, I love you with my ego. Anybody? Let us go. Nobody will say, I love you with my head. No. Because head is ego, ego is the head. Heart is non-egoistic. Therefore the point here is, my friends, ego, the language of love, existential reality is concerned with you and not with your ego. That's very clear. And then existential awareness will not make you feel proud of having understood. Some people say, Mr. Anil Kumar, I speak, all people cannot follow me. Oh, when nobody follows, at least you follow yourself. And when you say that nobody follows your talk, it means there's nothing worth following. Or I would understand, conclude that you do not know how to express yourself. Some people say, all cannot reach my level. My question is, what is your level after all, bloody level? What is your level? Nonsense. There is no level in spirituality, my friends. Death is the leveler. In death one cannot say, I died in a superior way. Oh, his is inferior death. Mine is superior death. I don't think so. So there is no question of level. There is no question of saying that I have better expression. Certainly not. The language of love. The language of love. The existential awareness will help you to transform you. To transform you. Christ the Lord, full language of love, brought transformation among the people. Bhagavan Buddha, language of love. He had got largest following in those days. Bhagavan Sri Satsai Baba, language of love, spread all over the world today. Within no time, within a record time. Why? His is the language of love. There is only one language, the language of love. That could reach, that has no boundaries, that has no limitations, that has no barriers. That's what it is. So existential awareness as the language of love and not the language of logic. Then what happens? When you are drawn by his love, when Swami speaks to you in the language of love, what will happen? You become lovely. I listen to the language of love. Now I am lovely. Lovingness. You get transformed. You also become an agent of love, agency of love, a transformer of love, an instrument of love. So love transforms, not logic. Logic will make you fight, counter. Love, let me follow you. You can win by love. That's language of love. With that, what happens? When love affects you, you are a new man hereafter. You are a new man. That's what Holy Bible says. Unless you are born, unless you are reborn, you cannot enter into the gates of heaven. Reborn, meaning you want me to die now? No. Reborn, meaning influenced by love. Becoming an instrument of love. Transforming yourself as love incarnate. Love personified. Then that's what it is. One thing is this, my friends. Why are we attracted by Baba? Is it all for all that he said? No. There are many people who said more than what Baba said. I cannot say Baba said is ultimate. The other fellows may attack me. It is not what he said. Please follow. It is not what he said. It is the way how he said. It is the way how he said. Simple example. There are many people who say you are all sinners. Then we'll meet next life. You have already branded me a sinner. What can I do now? I can't do. But what does Baba say? There are no sinners here. There is no sin at all. There is no sin at all. There are no sinners. It is only your feeling. It is only a mental makeup. What is right and wrong change with times. What is right at one time is wrong today. What is wrong today was right at one time. Though sin and right and wrong and merit and virtue, they go on changing. Socio-geographic conditions. So you cannot judge any person by the way he said it. One fellow says, I am a sinner, Swami. What does Baba say? Forget the past. Forget the past. That is Baba. Oh, you have done mistakes? Sit in the last row. You have done something wrong? Don't come for darshan for 1 month. You are suspended from darshan. That's not the way. So, Baba is revered. Baba is worshipped. Baba is heard in rapt attention. Not merely for what he said. It is the way he said. It is for the way he said, which is much more important. Then what happens? When once you listen to the argument, intellectual argument, what will happen? You are agitated, you are disturbed. Because that man won't leave you until you are defeated. That man won't leave you until you are lost. So you come agitated, disturbed by meeting an intellectual man. But coming closer to existential awareness, what happens? You will have a total thing. In intellectual thinking, what happens? Only communication. He goes on arguing. You say yes, he says no, you say no, he says yes. That's all. Communication or verbal exchange of words. But in existential reality, not communication, communion happens. Communion. You are in holy communion. Holy communion happens. A beautiful word of Christian theology, communion. Wonderful. You are communion with God. You don't say, I'm in communication with God. Communication is newspaper communication, television communication, radio communication, textual communication. But communion is intellectual. Communion is heart to heart, soul to soul, from individual to the eternal. Therefore, my friends, this intellectual awareness is certainly of a higher level when we be in holy communion with God, not with worldly communication. As I said above, that everything about Swami is significant. Gestures, movements, eyes. When he looks at you, a fellow will feel he knows my past. Another fellow will say, he looked at me, my desire is fulfilled. Another fellow will say, I started shaking when Swami looked at me. Guilty conscious. Same look. Different experiences. When Swami waves his hand, some fellow will think that his work will not be done. When he waves his hand, that he is going to heaven. One fellow will say, all right, you go ahead, I am with you. Same gesture. Therefore, my friends, gestures are equally important than mere words. Words are limited. Words are limited, that's all. But gestures have got unlimited expressions. Mother looks at a child. You look at your lover. You look at a person whom you love. That conveys more than what you say. You can say, I love you. The other lady will say, you must have said same thing to many people. You said same thing to many people, how am I to love you? Verbally questionable, doubtful. But gestures communicate more. Suppose a child is mischievous. Oh, child, don't do mischief. He will also increase the dimension of mischief, variety of mischiefs. Just if father looks, stern look, will set the boy set right. Gesture. So gestures, postures, smiles, looks convey more than verbal, vocal, physical expressions. That is the way of approach of a divine master. Then the expression in existential reality, there is no wastage of words. There is no wastage of words. Words are very simple. Simple. Love all, serve all. Is love a wastage or what? Remove love. Or all. And what all? Love all. Any word that is extra there? Serve all. Any extra word there? No. Love all, serve all is the simplest statement with no wastage of words. In other words, existential awareness conveys truth in simple words. Simple words. Some people use bombastic words which they themselves do not know. Because he thinks that more scholarly I speak, more foolish they will be. If they are wise enough, they will try to avoid you next time. Now, simplest terms. Christ used simple language. Sat Sai Baba used simple language. Buddha, simple language. This ability is the quality of a spiritual master. Simplest. So, whatever existential awareness conveys to you will be in the simplest language, with no wastage of words or whatsoever. Rather, I can say telegraphic. Swami says, means what? You don't understand. The other fellow will know for whom it is meant. Come close to me. If he says this way, if you go, not you, you go back. There are many people that go almost to the interview room and return successfully because they could not catch the meaning of his gestures. They could not immediately understand. And therefore, my friends, things are conveyed in telegraphic language, in the simplest words ever, in existential reality. But to understand this existential reality, to know this existential awareness, the divine master's holy communion, what is expected of me? What should I do? Yes, what I should do is forget the past. Forget the past. If you think that today's darshan is a repetition of yesterday's darshan, you are lost. Today's interview, same as last year's interview, you are dead and gone. So, in spiritual communication, in existence awareness, you should be fresh, ready, fragrant, vibrant, radiant, nascent. Very fresh always, ready to get it. Forget the past. That's very important. Because present, this moment has got a special message for you. Message delivered yesterday has no meaning at all. Message tomorrow, you are not sure. Message at this moment has got relevance, has got a meaning, has got an application. It has got depth right at the moment. My friend says the time is up. I should not tax you too much, but I really appreciate you. Throughout the session, I thank you and Baba in you who made you sit and listen to the talk in rapt attention. I'm eternally grateful to you. Thank you very much.